The two words that we want to hear from our significant other is, I've changed. But is the change for real? It sounds good, we want to believe it, but how can we be sure that they've actually changed this time? Let's talk about that today. Hi friends, glad to be back today. And today we want to talk about real change. What it means when somebody actually, honestly does make changes to their life. How can we be certain? So let's start with the first indication. The first indication is that they begin to ask you about how you're feeling and they're actually genuinely interested in your feelings and your thoughts. It's not all about them, and they're actually concerning themselves with things that actually concern you and are interested in asking thoughtful questions. The second indication is that they are not quick to be defensive. They've actually slowed down and even stopped being defensive and are beginning to look at how they are responsible for situations and responsible for their actions. The third indication is that they are actually sincerely remorseful and they feel bad about past indiscretions or issues, and they're able to speak about it without blaming others or victimizing themselves. The fourth indication is that they are actually changing for themselves and not for you. So you're not hearing comments like, well, I'm doing all this for you. Instead, they're actually making the change for themselves, and you can see them evolving and changing and becoming a more self-aware human being. The fifth indication is that they're open to feedback, ideas, and suggestions. And this can be very refreshing because in the past, possibly when you've made suggestions, they've got angry, maybe they've gotten defensive or even given the silent treatment, but at this point they're able to go a little more within and maybe see how your suggestion could be of help to their lives. The sixth indication, as we know it, actions speak louder than words. They're actually walking the walk, not just talking the talk. And that's really hard in our society today because sometimes we forget about that. We hear what someone says and we take that as gospel truth, but we really need to look at their actions day to day and see how their actions are truly changing. The seventh indication is that they're not repeating the same mistakes and same patterns. And this is very interesting because when somebody becomes more aware, when they've actually made real change, it's no longer that I'm going to do the same thing and then ask for forgiveness, do the same thing and then ask for forgiveness or apologize. There's actual real change, and so they don't have to keep apologizing for doing the same thing. And when you start seeing the mistakes being changed and then actual remorse when they do fall back into old patterns, you realize that not only are they trying to change, they are changing, and they're actually seeing the responsibility that they have for making that change. The last indication that I want to bring up in today's video is that true change takes time and consistency. So the person has to be willing to dedicate the time and willing to be consistent. And if you're seeing them really put the effort in and over a period of time making these changes and being consistent, you have someone in your life that is truly making changes and has truly changed. And I don't think that change happens overnight, but I think that over time when somebody becomes more self-aware, becomes more responsible, starts realizing the responsibility they have and the impact that their actions have on others, they begin to make this change, creating more self-awareness, being more aware of how they impact others, and they can be consistent in that change. And that's what's so important, because we hear that a lot, right? We hear that somebody says that they've changed. You've probably dealt with it in this relationship or another relationship where someone kept telling you that they had changed. They come back in the relationship, nothing's changed, or maybe for 5 or 6 days something changes and it goes back to the same situation. I hope this video has inspired and helped you in some way, because I feel that once we know that someone has truly changed and is on the road to change, we can give them that respect and that time to do what they need to do. If somebody is not really making the change, and this is real lip service, a lot of talk and no action, we need to know that as well. In the comment section below, let me know, is there something that I've left out? Do you agree with these 8 points? I'm interested in hearing your perspective. In the meantime, don't forget to live your true life.